You could walk in a crowded street, stand so tall.
They are in their natural environment, commuters. But whilst you and I just see busy people leading serious lives, the motor industry sees this. Interesting, isn't it, that whilst people are doing this, they could be thinking about this. Which does rather explain the existence of cars like this. The Jaguar XJR. Smart, sleek, stylish, leather-lined, expensive and exclusive. It's every inch the classic executive chariot. But underneath this smart, civilised suit, there lurks something more sinister. A snarling 4-litre V8 pumping out 370 brake horsepower.
Like that, come on. Like that, come on.
So that'll give you 0 to 60 in a nudges over 5 seconds and enough road-going attitude to satisfy even the most rabid of boy racers. And this isn't the only executive car with a secret. Look at this. They don't come much bigger or squarer than the Mercedes E-Class.
Check one, right to the sun. Right to the sun.
Just born to grace the director's slot in the company car park and the chairman's slot outside the golf club. But this, like the Jag, has something kinky on under the suit. This is the Mercedes E55 AMG, so say hello to 5.5 litres of V8 grunt. Which means, despite being bigger than your house, it'll accelerate from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 5.5 seconds and produces 354 brake horsepower. It doesn't really hide its secret that well. 18-inch alloys, ultra-low profile tyres and twin tailpipes are a hint. And if you miss all of those, then like a pair of fluorescent socks peeking from under a tailored trouser leg, that AMG badge on the back gives the game away. Of course, the Jaguar, as you'd expect, is a little more restrained on the outside, though the signs are there if you look closely. Things like huge 19-inch alloys and a rather natty mesh grille. Despite all the souped-up shenanigans, it is still every inch a Jaguar. This is definitely Daddy's car. There's a real sense of occasion about it. I feel comfortable and capable of going extremely quickly.
Like that, come on. Like that, come on.
Mind you, I'm really not sure that those 19-inch alloys and rubber band tyres do a great deal to help the ride. It does feel a bit crashing over bumps and perhaps not as composed as the Mercedes.
Right to the sun.
Nothing this big should go this fast, and it's just as well that AMG put as much work into the suspension as the engine, which means it actually handles its bulk pretty damn well when you consider it's built like a fishing boat. Despite having enough attitude to walk straight onto the set of the latest gangster flick, it's still very much a Mercedes. It feels kind of sensible somewhere. The view down the huge bonnet the size of a playing field, at the end of which is a little three-pointy star like a target sweeping across the horizon. This is actually enormous fun to drive. I don't get it, I don't see why you need it, but it's huge fun. When it comes to the interior of the Mercedes, well, in a car that costs money more familiar in an estate agent, you'd expect something a bit more special. It is terminally bland, though I suspect it will last incredibly well.
Check one.
Despite its sporting pretensions, the Jaguar does provide occupants with a degree of executive comfort. It is extremely well appointed. Leather and fairly convincing plastic wood abound. There's a huge sense of occasion from the moment you open the door and climb in. Thing is, even a hot Jag is still a Jag. You don't so much drive as proceed, even at enormous and frankly occasionally illegal speed. It's got something that the Merc can never really match, and that's character. Maybe it's something to do with the pedigree of the Jaguar breed, I don't know. But what it does mean is that even if on paper this wasn't as good as the Mercedes from point A to B, I'd still want it. It's a Jag. But what are these things actually for? I mean, they're hardly hot hatches, are they? Particularly when it comes to money. The Mercedes E55 AMG will set you back over £55,000. And the Jaguar, well, this is the XJR 100, a special limited edition of just 500 cars, and it'll set you back over £58,000. You can, though, get a standard XJR for £51,000 and a bit, all of which means both of these cars are in serious Porsche territory. So maybe the point of both of these cars is that they're nothing more than a serious display of wealth and attitude. And you would have to be minted, because bear in mind that in 3 years' time, you could buy this pussycat, grr, and this mighty three-pointed star, grr, for less than the price of one of them new, and still have enough change left for a Caterham.